Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about my planner fails of 2023. I'm not sure exactly how long this video is going to last, so no promises on a short video. Oh, hi Gibby. I talked a lot this year about my planner struggles and why I think that is occurring. If you're interested, I'll post that video link in the description box. But it's not just me. I know that a lot of people have echoed the same feelings that I have been speaking about here lately. And this is the result. I think I have everything in front of me. I don't have like every single cover that I have purchased to go with all of these things, but I wanted to spend some time talking through why these things didn't work. Oh shoot, nope, here's one more. Here we go. Why these things didn't work, and it's either going to just be interesting to listen to, hopefully, or it will help you if you've been considering one of these planners, figuring out why or why not one of these would work or would not work for you as well. So if you're interested in seeing all of the chaos that has already happened in the first quarter of 2023, my planner fails, stay tuned. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna cover today is the Moleskines. And this isn't even all of them. I also have the Alice in Wonderland one that I didn't pull out. Untouched, unused. So we have several pocket Moleskines here. A couple of them in covers, obviously, and a couple of them not. This one is the hardback daily, and I decided I did not want hardback, but I already had it. So this is completely unused. It's just, I didn't want the hardback. I'm gonna set that aside. And then that leaves us with the Pocket Monthly, the Pocket Weekly, and the Pocket Daily Moleskine. These are good planners, and I really do appreciate them, and I like using them. The problem is that now more than ever, I just feel like I need to get things out of my head. And I've had a couple of comments on past videos saying, well, just use an app for that, or just use your notes or whatever. That's just not how my brain likes to function. I really do benefit from taking pen to paper and that tactile response that goes along with it. It helps me remember things. It's part of something that I use, I think, to help like with my anxiety. And if you don't have anxiety, I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's just something that helps. Writing things down. It makes me feel better. I like getting things out of my head, putting them to paper before I can forget about them, and I just don't feel the same way about electronic things. I will never be a digital planner because of that, and I will write down things in my phone if I have no other choice, but I just don't like being left with that as my only choice, and I don't get the same benefits from it as writing down on paper. So I want to brain dump. And as much as I love these planners, they are very small. And coming from the Hobonichi weeks as like my main planner for many years in a row, or at least most of the year, many years in a row, I just feel like I'm trying to get away from that feeling of like tiny grids and tiny spaces. And when I think of like a running to-do list, you know, I'm just not thinking about, I'm like wanting to like just stretch out, and these pages might be good for moments in my life, but at this particular place that I'm in, I just kind of want to stretch out and write big and just put it all out there. And so I was feeling that I didn't have the space to do what I wanted to do. So I'm sorry if this is a repeat, but you know, everybody needs something different in these videos, and I'm not going to try to assume what you do or do not know about the Moleskine planners. I love these. Maybe it doesn't seem like it right at this moment because they're in my planner fail bucket, but I really do love these planners so much. But at the moment, I feel like I am wanting to put more inside of the spaces, and so I was either finding that I didn't put much because I felt like I couldn't put everything, or I don't have the room to put everything that I wanted to put. So also, I think that it's fair to say that after struggling with the Tomoe River paper and kind of leaving the Hobonichi Weeks, which no promises that that's forever, but for now I'm just really frustrated with it. Having something that completely mirrors the exact same layout that the Hobonichi Weeks has mirrored is almost like I felt like I needed to get kind of a break away from that. Sometimes I want to put like a running to-do list for a day. And of course you can add post-its and all of that, but you know, a horizontal layout isn't really good for a daily running to-do list, for a day that is busier than another. So I was just trying to like make this work somehow, and I was really, really happy about the Moleskine brand in particular. So I was really just hoping that one of these planners would be the right fit. So for the weekly layout, it has a couple of issues for me, and one of them is that the monthly themselves are very tiny. Now, I am first and foremost a weekly planner, but I do like to put high-level things like doctor's appointments, hair appointments, car appointments, vet appointments, those kinds of things within my monthly. I like to put birthdays, and I just have found that these are useful and usable, yes, but for me wanting to feel like I can stretch out, this is obviously going backwards from the weeks instead of forwards. And so then I was like, okay, well, I have this planner that I love, the paper, I love that I can use any pen in, and then I also had found that I could use one of my favorite brands, Portland Leather, their small journal, to house this in, which is one of the things that had been missing for me, was a place to put my planner in that was beautiful. And you don't need a leather cover, but I really do love this one. I am an ambassador for Portland Leather. I do have a link below. Anytime you use that link, I so appreciate it. I'll leave it in the description box as usual. But I was wanting to like make this work so I could use this pairing that I love the feel and look of. It doesn't, I mean, it's not even made for this. It's just made for a blank notebook that they sell with the cover. But I was like, oh, this fits. And I was like really happy about it. And then I was like, okay, I want to try something different. Let's try something different. Mandy from Planning Basics, she's changed her name. She was using, and I think she still is using, the monthly version of this, which is different than the weekly. And this one has these particular calendar pages, which I would use for cycle tracking, and they do not have those in the weekly. And I was like, okay, this is a bonus. You have a 2-page monthly spread, which another bonus because this is enough room to write. It's still small, but it's enough room to write. The downside for this one is that there are no weekly pages. And I thought that this could definitely work for me, because a lot of the things that I do on a weekly basis are just the running to-do lists that I need to do in a month. And if I'm not writing like simple things down, like run the vacuum or whatever, these like high level things that I need to get done, that is, I thought, good enough. But I really was missing a weekly view. Now, this particular planner I am going to keep with me because I'm using a larger planner now, and I just like the idea of always having something in my bag with me, that if I don't feel like carrying a larger bag, like if we're going to a concert or whatever, not that I would necessarily need to schedule something when I'm at a concert, but like my husband and I go on dates pretty often, and sometimes I just want to take a really small bag, and we come up with ideas over lunch, or we'll be like, hey, when is this scheduled? Or hey, when is this scheduled? And although he uses his phone for a lot of appointments, he doesn't put everything in there. Or just because this has some extra notes pages at the back, if I have this out with us, like right now we're redoing our like office space. If we come up with a whole bunch of ideas, or we write down a paint color that we want to use or whatever, this would have enough room, because it has all of this in the back here, to like take those random lists and notes. So it's technically not in the planner fails bucket, but it is for me personally for like an all-in-one. So this one I'm going to switch out and put in here, and this is going to stay in my bag. And this will be like my, when I'm running out without, I would like for this one to be current enough that if I have to go out with nothing, I know exactly where I have to be, and I'll just have somewhere to write something down. So technically not a fail, but a fail for like my one and only for the year. And then of course there was the daily, and I really liked the idea of this being a place where I could stretch out. And I will be the first to admit that sometimes the little things bother me more than they would other people. I'm like the princess and the pea. But the pages still, again, are small, and the book is quite thick because it is a daily planner, and I don't like towards the end of the year, this is no big deal, or on this side of the page, not as big of a deal, but I don't like writing on this like cliff. It also still would have the very teeny months, and it's just not been something that I've wanted to pick up. I have not been enjoying journaling in it as much as I thought that I would, and I historically have not been very good at being someone who does journal, and I feel like the planner that I'm currently in allows me to kind of leave a little blurb, which is enough. I really struggle with taking the time to journal. One problem that I have with it is, of course, my anxiety, and the other problem with it is that I'm like, I guess it just might have to do with the kind of person that you are and how you process information. I tend to like word vomit on the way home, and that's like enough for me if I had a frustrating day or whatever. Or I'll like talk to my friends about a situation that happened, if not my husband. He'll usually get it too. But I struggle with, okay, I'm taking the time, I'm taking the energy to write these things down in a journal. And then what's the point? I'm never coming back to this probably. I mean, over the years, I've kept my Hobonichi A6, the Techos. How many times I've gone back to look through those? Very rarely. And we are in the process currently of like purging and decluttering. We've been watching videos about like Swedish death cleaning and just thinking about it like that. I'm keeping these books for who? And who would be happier that I left them behind? And if I'm not rereading them, and I'm not expecting my kids to want to reread them, then really what is the point? And you could, I guess, say that with all of the planners and stuff too, but for now, I like the idea of having them, but if they're long-term not sticking around, I'm much more likely to flip through my planners than I am through my journals, and so I just don't think that journaling is really my thing. I've tried to be a journaler my entire life, and I just don't think that it's my thing. So the Moleskines have failed for me mostly because of the size and wanting to stretch out. And of course I could, yes, disassemble this particular planner, take the monthly pages, take those trackers out and put them in the weeklies. But I don't think that I don't want to plan twice necessarily. Throwing in a running to-do list while I'm out and keeping up with very high level appointments to have as a backup small planner is enough for me. Not to say that I'm not going to feel differently about this in 6 months. These planners in particular are going to stick around. The only ones that I'm even considering parting with are ones that I'm just not going to use. But these have failed for those reasons. I was sad about it for a while, but I've let it go. Like I can't think about it like that. And then I think then with this one, which is the same exact planner in hardcover, larger space, I really do love the paper in these planners. And I like that this I can feel like I can stretch out in. If I had been able to find this in a soft cover, this might be the planner that I'm using today. But I couldn't find it in a soft cover, and then I got really excited about the format that I'm in now, so I'm not like sad about it anymore. This definitely would be something that I would look forward to in the future, or if vertical planning doesn't end up working out, I reserve the right to come back to this year because I really do like it. I think, again, it was just about that particular layout being so close to the Hobonichi weeks that I kind of wanted to just stop and do something different. So the Moleskines for right now are out. These 4 planners are sticking around just in case I change my mind, but I'm really hoping to never buy this many planners for a calendar year ever again. Moving on to something else. This is the one that's very, very, very close to my heart. So I used pocket rings with pocket extra large inserts or pocket plus inserts a lot last year. Really fell in love with the portability of this particular size, and I tried to go back to it. Again, it's really just about space. Right now I'm not feeling happy in any ring planner, and part of it is, you know, working around the rings. I do love rings for being able to make it whatever you want. And I love some of my covers very much. But the pocket, I'm just not loving the idea of being scrunched. I tried to set it up. As you can see, I don't even have everything for 2023 in here, but I did put some things in here and like test it out, and I wasn't feeling it. And so I decided not to waste any more time and effort on setting something that I wasn't immediately feeling drawn to. Again, it's just those pages right now aren't big enough, feeling like I want to stretch out. And I set up my personal size, and I'm just feeling like the pages are too narrow. And I could obviously do a personal wide or Franklin Covey compact, but every time I print something like that off, I'm just again not feeling the itch to move into it and get overly excited. And I'm just about what is going to make me feel the most functional right now without all of the extra stuff that comes along with setting up a lot of these different planners. So rings right now are out. I have learned my lesson, however. I have these couple of Moterm covers that I really, really love, and I'm not going to sell. I've sold quite a bit, and I still have some Moterm Weeks covers that I'm going to sell and a few other things. But I'm keeping this because chances are I will move back into this at some point. If not this year, some other time. And I don't want to be kicking myself for getting rid of everything to make that happen. So planner fail. What is next here? Whew, this one. I am not good with trying to do things for like specific purposes. So I saw this last year, the Travelers Company, they have the hotel and the airline or the airplane, and then this one for your records. And I thought that this would be a place that I would come and note what my husband and I were buying when we go to the record store, which we have very much slowed down on. We're trying not to bring too many things into our space. We're trying to remove things from. So I got this and didn't use it because we weren't going to the record store so much. And then I was like, well, I'll go ahead and just kind of try to set this up for a planner. It's very basic, and I bought extra stuff to go with it. And I forgot how much I don't like working with strings, and this is even smaller than a pocket size. So I like bought the stuff to go with this. I bought the set, which is expensive on its own, and then I bought extra stuff to go with it, and then I just didn't use it. So I got this is a monthly calendar, and it's not been used, as you can see. I really like the layout of it. I like that it has those pages up front like a Hobonichi Weeks, which I use for cycle tracking. But yeah, haven't touched it. Got it. I think I was sick when I ordered this stuff, and then it came in and I was like, already over it. So I never used it. Too small. I don't like strings. I've just got to like be realistic with myself about what I like. And this I've had for months and months and months and months and months. It makes me sad sometimes thinking about the things that I have wasted money on. Anyway, we're going to move past that. What do we have next? All right, next up we have the Aura Estelle and Annie Plans collab. I was so stoked about this when I first got it. I really do like certain things about this, but I'll tell you why I ended up not using it. I do have a little bit of writing in it for December. I'm not good, first of all, with consistently having a daily plan. I'm at work, 9 hours a day or whatever, and then when I come home, there's such a small amount of time that I'm home. I know the things that I want to do, or if I want to write the list down, it's not going to be that large because I'm tired and I don't want to run a million errands or do whatever, and I'm just never going to fill up this page. Also, because I am a mostly weekly planner, I don't like that you only see the weekly view on Monday. The other thing that I struggle with, especially when it's not as like light outside, is that although this is very neutral and I like that, it's almost too light for my preference for when I'm like at home in the winter in Ohio and it's in the evening and the lights are dimming, and then I'm like, gosh, I can't even see, and then I have to like turn the lights way up and concentrate too hard, in my opinion, on what's going on in this planner, and so I just don't enjoy that. This one doesn't have the like year at a glance that I like to use for my tracking, but it does have a nice neutral monthly view. It has the monthlies mixed in with the dailies, and of course the other thing, which didn't bother me as much as other people, is you only have 6 months in this planner. So if you're a person who doesn't mind putting appointments in your planner ahead of time, you're going to have to leave a post-it note for yourself if you've just gone to the doctor and made an appointment for August when you're in February, because you don't have your whole planner with you. I was really disappointed in that one because I was really excited about using something that was Hobonichi Week sized that I could still use my covers with and it not be a Hobonichi Weeks. I was looking forward to something same but something different. I like that the layout is different in the weekly view, but it just didn't end up working out for me. And before I move on to the other one, there was also this that I got, which I never ended up using either. I like the paper in this one personally. It's got all the months up front, but it has that Hobonichi layout, and I wasn't really in love with this blue. This one is the, what is this, Paper Mood. I mean I paid a lot of money for this stuff, guys. It's just not going anywhere. This one is got a beautiful cover, but I'm just over the week's form factor, I guess. Now this one, I also got the A6 version of this one, and I was so excited about this one too. This one has different layout than the weekly version. Again, you have the month and then you move into your weeks. It has similar to a Hobonichi Weeks layout, except for you have like a running to-do list column that you could have here. This space is just super small. I wish that it had just been the whole page over here, but it's not. And then you get 3 pages in between each week. And then I just didn't understand how would I separate those 3 pages. So I just decided I'm not going to try, and I didn't use that planner either. Again, really nice quality planner, and paid a lot of money for it, didn't touch it. So that's, I guess, the story of today's video. Sam likes to spend money on things that she's not going to use. The Hobonichi A6. I've got like journaling here, so I'm not gonna, I was attempting journaling again. I like using this as a planner, but I don't like using the English version as a planner. And I feel, again, with the Hobonichi products that I'm having to worry about the aesthetics of it, because everybody has such beautiful Hobonichi's pages. Is that something that somebody has made me feel? No, but that's how I feel about it. So there's that. I'm not going to apologize for feeling that way. And I'm just kind of overusing the Tomoe River paper for now. I really like the way this book looks. I like the A6 size. I'm not a good daily planner, and I stink at journaling, so I'm not appreciating picking up a fountain pen right now either. And that's kind of how I feel about this paper. When I see the A6, I think journal, I think fountain pen. I'm not feeling it, so I'm not using this one either. And then, of course, there is the Hobonichi Weeks, which I think that this one might have been doomed from the start because I did not like the release this year, and it like immediately miffed me, made me upset. I've used the Hobonichi Weeks for years. I've complained often and loudly about my struggle with the pens. My struggle with how small the grid size is for my handwriting, and Hobonichi is obviously not changing it. I'm just going to change me. I do like this planner. I love the way it looks when I've filled everything in, with one caveat, and that is I like the way this planner looks best when I have back planned. And I don't want to use multiple planners. That's just how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. So I have purchased several weeks this year trying to find the one that works for me. I ultimately decided I did not want a Mega Weeks. I didn't want it in one of the Easter egg basket colors, and I went with this one and reset it up. And then I was just like, I'm tired of stressing about the stupid pens, and this might not be how I feel about this in 3 months. So I'm definitely hanging on to this one as well because the Hobonichi has worked for me well in the past. But for now, I'm still in the headspace of this has to look pretty, and I don't feel like making pretty spreads right now. I'm kind of into the whole messy functional instead, and that's just how it is for now. I did go back in last week. Yeah, see, I tried to use a different pen other than this felt tip pen from U-Brands, which I've used for the last couple of years. This works. It dries quickly. You can highlight over it if you give it a second. But I don't always want to write with a felt tip pen. That's not like my pen soulmate, and I get irritated with feeling like I have to use that pen. And so I decided to move out of the weeks. So those are like the biggies, and then here is going to be the one that my latest fail, which wasn't really a fail, and that is the Commit 30. And you're like, what? I thought she loved this planner, and I do, and this is the planner that I'm currently using, but not this particular one. So I talked when I first ordered this that I had decided to go ahead and order this in a Sunday start because I liked this particular color, and I like a Sunday start on the monthly, and I thought that I could get around the Sunday start and the weekly view, but I've decided that it's confusing my brain a lot. I don't know how my brain works the way it does, that the Sunday on a month's work and then a Monday on the week's work, but it does. I'm just used to this calendar view. That's the way I saw it growing up. And in my brain, when I look at a week, I see a Monday. And so I was not jiving with this. It was like making me feel like I had to overthink it, and I don't like to do that. And I also decided, since I am mainly a weekly planner, that after years of using the Hobonichi Weeks and Hobonichi products, that I could get over it. This being a Monday start as far as the monthly view goes, and it's working really well for me. And I have other videos about this, and I will have more videos about this, but this one is just what I needed, I think, right now. I don't have it completely like 100% set up. There are some things that I'm going to be adding to it as I go, but I want to commit. I want to commit to using the Commit 30 because it has a different layout than I've been stuck in the past. It's the bound book that I really enjoy, and I have enough space to write down the tasks that I want to get done, anything on a daily that I need to get done, plus memories, which is enough for me, I think, right now. Maybe it won't be forever, but I'm not in a journaling mood at the moment, and this feels like I've got enough memory placing into the planning that I have a happy mix where I can do both. I stink at keeping up with multiple books, and I stink at journaling. So I feel like this it's the best of both worlds, at least for now. I am continually happy when I pick this up. I ordered a hand-stitched leather tee cover for it. I have a Hobonichi A5 sized cover from Moterm for it, but I really do enjoy just kind of carrying it around like this. Struggle that I don't have a pen loop on it, but otherwise I open it up, I feel like I'm able to dump things out. I've not been holding back. I have Post-its in here, I have random pages stuck in here filled with thoughts and ideas and meal plans and all of that, and it's just what I needed right now. I just didn't realize it until all of this happened. So this has been the worst year for indecision ever, and I'm glad that I've gotten rid of this chaos. Yes, like I said, some of this stuff is going to stick around just in case. Some of this stuff that I have barely used or haven't used, I will be hoping to part with, because I really do need to pare down some of the planner stuff that I have living here with me in my space. I just don't have the mental, emotional space for it in my life right now. So that is my planner graveyard here for 2023, and it's only March. It's not even the middle of March yet, and I did all of that damage. Plus some, probably. There's probably something here that I've forgotten about that is still stuck in a something somewhere, or I've already gotten rid of. Anyway, I know that I'm not the only one. I've seen your posts, I've seen your messages, I've seen your comments, and I know that it's not just me. We can do this, I promise. If you want to chat about it in the comments below, I'm here for you and can't wait to hear what you have to say about this one. What about you? Was there a planner that you just knew was going to work for 2023 that you abandoned, maybe without even using, hours, days, a month or two into the year? I would love to hear from you. If you like this video, found it helpful, or something that you related to, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and it helps the channel so much. If you would like to see more about planners, hopefully more about planner contentment than planner chaos, please subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.